Hey guys, welcome to another day on the shop. As you see, I got gloves on. So it's a messy situation. What we're working on today is the focus. Let me explain. So my wife was driving the other day and said she started hearing a vibration in the rear. Well, we've had issues with the brake spring down here. That spring right there, that clip came off, and the brake caliper was kind of moving back and forth. It's not the same sound. Now it's like a constant vibration. Looking back here, got fluid, and it's possibly the shock, I'm guessing. So we're going to be doing a shock replacement possibly. I've got to get down here and examine a little bit more, but if you can look at that, that's exactly what that looks like, is shock fluid. Just the shock blew out. So yeah, I'm gonna have to order a shock now. So that's gonna be a fun one, but I'll be checking everything else out up under here, doing a little nut and bolt check just to make sure everything's good. I wish I had some fender liner in here, but I don't. So yeah, well, let's rip this wheel off and make double sure that the shock is shot. Well, yeah, the shock's blown. You want me to show you how I know? As I'm trying to take this lug nut off, I was moving the whatever that's called, a socket, and yeah, that shock's not supposed to wiggle around like that. So I got a blown shock. So that's next on my list then. So I need to order one. And I need to order it soon so I can get it. So let's jump over to ordering something off Amazon. I'm getting a shock. At least one, maybe two, maybe one. I don't know. I'll think about it. Depends on the price. So let's replace this one. Alright, well, got my shocks in. So I'm replacing one today. I'll replace the other one later. I don't have time to do everything today. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop the wheel back off. We're going to pop the shock off and then replace it. Shouldn't be too difficult. Should be just 2 bolts. Not, it's a little bit more, but we'll figure it out and I'll show you what to do. Okay, so we have a 15 on the back side of the hub back here, or the spindle. Up here on top, can you see that? We have 2 10mm, and then we got a shock hat. So we got to take all that off, and once we do that, it should be pretty simple to put back together. So let's knock this out. Alright, as you see, this thing moves up and down, and it shouldn't like that. So that's why we're replacing it. Yeah, greatness. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put this little top hat in the vise, and then we're going to get a, I think it's 12mm, and put it on the top and just unwind this top hat from the shock, and then we'll just do the old switcheroo and replace it with the other one. So yeah, let's get the other one out of the box and compare real quick, and then we'll take this off. This is a premium from China. It is a stock replacement off Amazon. It's one of the cheapest ones for a pair. If you look up AutoZone or anybody else, you buy one shock, as of Duralast or whoever else, for the price of both of these. And then you have the stock shock. So we're going to pop this top off, and it should look identical on both sides. Now let's do that. Well, this is a 13mm bolt or nut up here. I'm using my OLSA Tools swivel ratchet as well as the premium chrome sockets, and that's what we're going to pop all this off with. We're not so different. Well, I was using my OLSA Tools stuff. Now, since the whole entire shaft was spinning, I'll just use some vice grips or some channel locks and a wrench. So we're going to loosen this thing up this way now. Alright, as you see, that this thing does move up and down, back and forth, but there is fluid all over it, inside and out. So we're replacing this, and it shouldn't wiggle and jump as much. So there's not much difference in the two. This has plastic collar, this has a metal collar up here. The metal collar for this is probably just a stamped steel one in here, and then we have the ends. The shafts look about the same. The bushings, this is the stock one has a little bit bigger rubber bushing without a metal sleeve. This one has a bushing that's a little bit smaller with rubber with a metal sleeve in it. So let's go ahead and put the bump stop back on. Let's spray it off real quick so it looks a little bit cleaner. Alright, let's assemble this thing back on. We have a nut up here that has a nylon locker on it. Alright. This in. Alright, now that we got the other shock back on, the new shock, replacement shock, we're going to just pop this back in. 13mm up here is tight, and the shaft is not moving anymore. Adjacent to the nut, so it's pretty tight. Pop this back in here and we'll be done. So see you in a second. Alright, from what you saw before, this thing wiggled and jiggled pretty good. So now it's pretty difficult to move it up and down. So I'd say it's fixed. So, alright. Another project down. Alright, we're done. Wheels back on. Don't mind this. Bought the car. It had one like this, and then somebody decided to run into it in a parking lot. Again, in the same spot. Thankfully, it's in the same spot. So that helps. Because when I start doing body work on it, I'm already fixing a problem that I already had, just a little deeper. So, need a shock absorber, check out the link in the description below for the stock replacement of the Focus. This is not a performance shock by any means, it's stock replacement. So, tools that I used, the OLSA Tools swivel head ratchet, 13, 15, and 10mm sockets, and yeah, that was basically it. Other than a pair of pliers just to hold the shaft still while you put the nut on. So, check out any other links in the description below for Teespring and any other products. So thank you for joining into another episode of the shop. Until next time.
Focus. 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 Focus.